Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Preacher's Plate. I am your host, Chef Preacher Man. Hope that you're doing well today. Well, I've got a very, very full plate today. Got a lot to do, busy schedule, and the weather has dropped just enough to make me want a winter dish. Even though it's not winter time, it's cool enough. I think we can get by it. So what we're going to do before we get any further is ask you to do me a favor. Please hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, and the notification bell. That lets you know next time the preacher puts something out on the plate. Now, as always said before, there's three key ingredients in the preacher's kitchen. Number one is love. You need to love what you're putting on the plate. Love the people that you're serving. If you don't love it, they won't love to eat it. Number two is creativity. Never be afraid to try new things. Just try it. It's trial and error a lot of times in the preacher's kitchen, and more times than not, you'll find that you did well. And then the third thing, obviously, is passion. You need to be passionate about what you're doing. Now, before we get any further, I was going to say, have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope this stuff, you'll try it. I'm going to try to put the recipe in the description box. So what we're making today, because we've got a long, busy day, we're going to make crock pot chicken and dumplings. Who doesn't love a good chicken and dumpling? So what we've done now, let me just show you all my ingredients. Obviously, we've got some organic chicken broth right here. We're going to use the entire carton of that. This is a large recipe. I got a big family, I like leftovers. Obviously, we use our favorite black pepper. Always want to have that. Just your regular salt. We're going to use a little poultry seasoning. This gives it a great flavor, the poultry seasoning there. And we're also going to use some thyme. All right, we got some thyme there. Now, what I've already done to save some time is I've made the base mixture right here. What this is 1 can of cream of chicken soup, 2 cans of cream of celery soup, and then 1 can of carrots. I didn't have any fresh carrots, but I did what I had. And then I take those and dice those up. And what we've done is we've mixed all that in good, and that's going to be our base. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start by dumping this in the crock pot. This is our base mixture here, and it's real thick, but it's just going to turn out wonderful. Now one thing you're going to need that I haven't got out yet is you're going to need a can of biscuits, just some kind of canned biscuits. I prefer the buttermilk ones, and then at the very end of this recipe, we'll cut some of those up, put them on top for the dumplings. It makes a wonderful, wonderful meal. And so I'm going to let this cook slow and low for about 8 hours, and then we're going to, when we get ready, we'll cut those biscuits up, put those on top for about 10-20 minutes, and then we'll be ready to eat and serve, ready to serve and eat, I should say. Now, we've mixed that up, so that's good. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to take these chicken breasts. Now, I've got 6 breast halves, 6 boneless, skinless chicken breast halves. And we're just going to trim them up the way we want them. And as soon as they're trimmed up, I'm actually going to throw them back in this bowl to mix a little bit of dry rub on them just to give them a little more flavor. You just want to cut them in little cubes. I'll show you as we get them done. I'm going to cut them in cubes like that. And then we're going to just tunk them in there. And we'll season them up real good. Let me cut the rest of these up, and I'll be right back, right here on the preacher's plate. All right, everybody. Well, you can see there, we've already got our chicken diced up into nice little cubes there. So we got that done, and then put a little salt and pepper on it. Now what you want to do is you want to take the ground thyme and put 1 full teaspoon of ground thyme in there. We got to get it all in there and then mix it in good. And we'll add it to our crock pot. There we go. 1 teaspoon of thyme, and also 1 teaspoon of ground poultry seasoning. And so we're going to do the same thing that we just did there, and just get us a good full teaspoon. It's okay if you go, I like seasoning, so I'm not going to hurt it. This is a big recipe, but that's the actual recipe. And then you'll learn to season it to what you like. You might like a little more, a little less. You might want to add onions, celery, whatever you want. We've got a major onion allergy in our home, so we don't use onions, but that would be something that would be good with this. Then again, you just take that and put that in there, and then you just kind of mix it all in real good. Make sure that chicken is good and coated with those seasonings that we just put in there. I want to make sure it's all over all the chicken. The chicken's where I want the flavor at right now. And so I'm just going to keep doing that. And then we're just going to dump it in the crock pot. And we'll get it just mixed in just a little better. And then just do that right there. And then we're going to go over here and just dump this whole bowl in the crock pot. Everything's going in. Oh yeah, look at all that chicken in there. And we set that aside. Now I'm going to take this spoon here You kind of make sure that all that's in there real good and coated, and just it's okay. And so we're going to do that and kind of mix that in with that that mixture of kind of the soups and all of that base, if you will. Mix that in real good, just like so. And now we've got the chicken and the mixture in there. Now there's one more thing we need to do, and that's to put the broth in. So we're just going to do, once we got all that done, we're just going to take this whole bottle of broth right here, organic chicken broth, and we're just going to dump the whole thing. All right, y'all, so we've got everything in the crock pot that needs to be there. That's all you do to it. Then we just go ahead, simply just put the lid on it. We're going to turn this thing on low, and we're going to leave it there for 8 hours. And at the end of 8 hours, we will have a beautiful crock pot chicken and dumplings. And then what we'll do, around the time 8 hours is over, somewhere within 10 or 15 minutes of that, we'll cut those biscuits. I'll bring you back here, show you how. We'll cut the biscuits, layer them on top, and they make the best dumplings. And then when we get ready, we'll show you what the final product is, and we're going to enjoy it. I hope you'll take the time to make this crock pot chicken and dumplings, and we'll bring you back here in just a little while. We'll let it sit for about 8 hours, and we'll finish it off with some dumplings on top. And I'm telling you, this is a yummy treat, a good weather, any weather, good, just a crock pot meal. Amen, right here on the preacher's plate. And we love you, and we'll be back here in just a little bit, and we'll show you what the final product is. All right, everybody. Well, we're at the point now where I need to add the dumplings to our chicken and dumplings. And like I said, we just use regular biscuit dough, biscuits in a can. I've already cut them. You cut them kind of in quarters like that. And I use 2 cans for this particular recipe. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to remove the lid from this, and I'm going to give it a good stir before we do anything else. Look at that nice thick consistency there. That's going to be wonderful. We're about 30 minutes away from it being done. Now, what I like to do is to take 1 can of the biscuits first and just drop them down in there, and I'm going to mix these in there. This is just 1 can. It's already been cut. I cut it before I came on here just to kind of get them ready, and they'll cook fast, but I'm going to mix them down in there. Now, we did this before with 1 can, and it just didn't feel like it had enough dumplings in it, so we like to do the 2 cans, and it just gives it a great dumplings, because we like this stuff a lot, and it's a really good recipe. So I've almost got this whole can in there, and then what I'm going to do is once I get these in there, I'm going to mix them down in the bottom. They're already going to get thick, they're already going to fill up, but I'm going to mix those down around in that mixture, and then they'll go down once I add the top layer. Those are going to sink down in there. You'll see here in just a bit. And then I'll take the top layer, and I'm just going to lay them across the top, just like that. I'm going to sprinkle a little seasoning on these once I get them in there, and just to give them a little more flavor. And you just have to kind of work fast, because as those heat up, they're going to begin to turn into dumplings like we want them to. But the weight of these also pushes those other ones down. See how I'm just kind of laying them on the top there? And that's all you want to do. You just lay those on the top. They'll fill up. You'll see when it gets done. They'll swell up real big and fill up the top of this crock pot lid. And it's kind of cool. They're wonderful. Tasty, tasty, tasty. And there we go. So now I'm going to put just a little bit of salt, a little bit of poultry seasoning, just a little bit across the top there, and then a little bit of black pepper. Just a little bit, kind of flavor those up just a little bit. And I'm just going to set the lid right back on there. We're going to let that do its thing for about the next 15 or 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll pull a bowl out and show you what it looks like. Start to finish right here on the preacher's plate. Chicken and dumplings in the crock pot, can't go wrong. Okay, well, everybody, we are here now, and I believe we've got some dumplings. Look at this wonderful crock pot chicken and dumplings. My goodness. We're just going to take a little sample here. Oh, my. There's so much. Get some dumplings in there. Get down in there and get a little bit of that chicken. Look at that, y'all. I'm not going to make a big bowl, but I want to sample this in front of you and show you what it looks like when it's done. Right here. Let me put this back together, so it'll continue to staying hot. We're not quite ready to eat supper yet, but I want to look at that. Look at that bowl. Oh, that's wonderful, is it not? Look at these dumplings, y'all. Beautiful dumplings. Look at this chicken, just tender. I'm talking about tender chicken. Look at that. Does that look good or what?
Stuffing.
Oh, yum.
Got some carrots in there, some celery. Oh my, you know, look at that beautiful celery. Let's take a bite here. Now, you know as well as I do, this is hot. But we're gonna try it. Look at that, you ought to get a bite of everything in there. Oh my soul. That is just, look at those dumplings. Look how they look. I'm talking about dumplings, a little bit of chicken.
I can't help myself. I like good food, okay?
Oh, hi. Excuse me, how you doing? Just kidding. I'm gonna tell you something. Woo! Glory to God, that's good right there, amen. I'm talking about chicken and dumplings on the preacher's plate and the preacher's crock pot. There ain't nothing better on a good day, amen, than chicken and dumplings in the crock pot. I'll tell you what you need to do. You need to get the recipe, which will be in the description box below. And you need to go ahead and make this stuff right here and then send us a note on the video and let us know how it come out. But we look forward to the next opportunity we have to come together right here on the preacher's plate. But in the meantime, don't forget to taste and see that the Lord is good. We'll see you right here next time on the preacher's plate. We love y'all. Have a good night. Bye-bye.